Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a really good week this week. So this week what's popping and dropping is a slider pop-up card, and we just pull the tab and boop, we have balloons and some confetti that just pops right up. Isn't that neat? And then you just back and forth. And this is a very simple card, and then you open it up and we have a place where we can write a message on the inside. You could definitely add more things on the inside. I just kept it really simple for this one. So why don't we head over to Design Space. I'm going to show you the file we are going to do today. There will be 3 total files for this slider cards. So why don't we head over there? I'm going to show you what's going to come in the file today. I'll see you there. Okay guys, now that we are in Design Space, this is what the file will look something like when you open each of the files. The gray piece here is going to be used for the acetate. If you don't have acetate, you can definitely use just a piece of paper. It will still work. Also, in this card, I wanted to add a little something extra to it, so I added pretty paper to each side of the card. The only piece you will need if you don't want to add pretty paper to each side is this piece here. So if you'd like, go ahead and add anything extra to your card. Don't forget to go up and name and save your project. So why don't we go ahead and get our pieces cut out, and then I'll meet you back at the craft table. I'll see you there. Okay guys, now that we are at the craft table, what we can do is get our card base out and our pretty paper. Now, on my other ones, I didn't add a pretty paper to it, and I just wanted to do a little something extra for this. So I am going to put some pretty paper on here, and we just need to pay attention to these 2 pieces here. One has 2 slots in it, and then one just has the scoop down here at the bottom. The piece that has 2 slots on it, that is going to be the piece that needs to be on top. The one that just has this little section missed out here, that's going to go on the inside. So let's go ahead and work our score line here. When you are putting this card together, you need to make sure you have your card opening the right way, because I did do one card where I did it backwards and the card opens like this. So not that there's anything wrong with it opening the other way. So this is going to be my top. So this piece needs to go on top here, and it will line up on our holes just like that. So we're going to have a border. This piece here, with just the U cut out of it, the half circle, we're going to set this aside because we don't need to put that on yet. But these other 3 pieces we do need to put on. Remember, nothing will go on this side because this piece belongs over there. So we'll be putting on pretty paper. If you're going to use pretty paper for this, we'll put it on the front, and then this side, and then the back. So why don't we go ahead and get started and put our pretty paper on. All right, so we have this piece on and done. What we're going to need is a piece of plastic. You can use a Ziploc bag. This I just got off one of my cardstock pieces, and you just want to cut it not as wide as this our hole here. So I'm gonna say, like, I don't know, like a quarter of an inch, maybe a half an inch. And you can use scissors. I just take my little cutting board here, and this is, like I said, just plastic off of my paper, my cardstock. You can also use a Ziploc, and what I did is just cut the zipper part off if it has it, and then I have it folded. I've already used this twice, and then I just line the Ziploc bag on my cutting board, and I'm gonna say like a quarter of an inch. And I found it easier if you start on your plastic and then just cut it back and forth. Like this, I'm going to cut through that. And that's what it looked like. Let's see if this is too wide. No, that works. You just don't want it as wide as your hole. I really prefer this plastic more than my Ziploc bag. I don't know why. It just feels like it moves easier. This is, I think, a Ziploc brand. And I'm just wasn't crazy about how it moves, but any kind of plastic. So we have our piece, and it does not have to be this long because we're going to uh, cut it anyway. I'm going to cut this in half and save my other piece for another card. And not that we need a measurement for this, but this is like 9 inches long and a half an inch wide. And what we're going to do is feed it through our holes here. And I'm going to do both of them from the back. Okay. Then once we have it fed through our two holes, can you see that? You can see that. I'm going to work mine on the top. Uh-oh, got some static electricity going on here. So that's probably about an inch I have pulled through the top right there. What we're going to do is take a piece of tape, double-sided, and it does not have to be as long as this piece. We just need some on there. And that's how much I put on there. And the key to this is first you want to make sure nothing is twisted. And we want to make sure these both lay flat. When we bring this to the other end, wherever your tape ends, we want to pull it, but we don't want it stretched where it's tight because we need it to move smoothly. So what I say do is just gently lay it down on our tape here. If you notice when you have it pulled, oh, there we go. You can see that right there, this edge. See, that is pulled way too tight. And if you notice how I lift it up just a little and release it, there's some Let me get a piece of paper. There we can see it. It's not flush to our card, but we don't want it where there's a big bubble like that either. Can you see that? We want a happy medium. So I just say lay it nice and flat on top of the other one with a little pull in it, not a lot. Again, we're not trying to stretch this and not have it move. So I have my finger on this piece down here. I'm just going to take this, and you can see how loose that is. I'm going to make it just a little bit tighter, just about like that, where it's just nice and smooth. And then give it a rub there. And then we're going to take this piece that's the extra, and we're just going to snip it off. So you should have something that's looking like that. Now, if this is not too tight, you will be able to put your one finger like this on the back and move it up and down. And my card is not bowing or anything like that. Okay? So that's perfect. So we got that done. I think that's the hardest part right there. Now what we need to do is get our piece here and go ahead and put our decorations that go on the front of our basket, our apple basket. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm also going to go ahead and do the fox too. And the easiest way I can tell you guys, I did this one also. This is okay down at the bottom. I don't mind the vinyl here, but up here, I don't like how, if you can see, you can kind of see the bumps and stuff with using vinyl at the top. So I'm going to use paper this time and see how that turns out. And I'm going to put the fox together too. So let's go ahead and do that. Now after I do this piece, I like to go ahead and work on this piece, and then if you just start from the bottom and build it up. So I usually do the leaves next. Now that we have our pieces done here, what we're going to do is get our two tabs, and the pull tab, we need to make it a little bit sturdier, so that's why I have two of these in the file, and we're just going to glue that one on top of this one here. So we're going to put a little glue on it and then put the pull one on top of this. So let's go ahead and do that. Now what we're going to do is take our piece here, and we need to put it on our card. But before we place it on our piece of plastic here, what we can do is we're going to swivel and slide to the back the place where we taped it together so it's on our back side. And we want it at the top just above our little hole right there. So just how I'm placing it. And I'm going to pull it up here so you can see how, there we go. Now you can see where it's at, and we want it on that side there. And the front is going to be nice and smooth. So when we take our pull tab, we want it to cover both of our holes just like so, and we want it even just with the bottom so you can see the word pull. You don't want to go past the card. You want to line it up. So then we're going to put a piece of tape at the top of our hole here, or we need a double-sided tape. So we'll tear a piece off, and we're going to put it just at the top. We're going to lay it down, and then we're going to take our tab and we're going to lay it right over the top of our tape here. So I'm just going to line it back up again and make sure I have it where I want it to go. And that looks good to me. I can see my pull. Both of my holes are covered. So I'm going to go ahead and take that tape off so I can place my tab down on my card. Just doesn't want to come up here. There we go. And now I'm just going to place my tab down. I'm going to make sure both holes are covered and line it up at the bottom as best as we can. Now we're going to give it a good little rub here, and then we can turn our card over and give it a test. So you should be able to pull it and our piece of plastic will go up and down very smoothly. Just like so. That's working very nice there. Now what we're going to do is to go ahead and turn it over, and we're going to put double-sided foam tape on each side of our tab right here. If you don't have double-sided foam, what you can do is take cardstock and just keep layering it until you have it above this edge here. Mine is pretty thin, double-sided foam, so I like to double mine up for this, and you can see how thin that is. And we'll need 2 strips, and they're gonna go on each side of our pull lever here. And if you have really like thick cardstock, you would only need a couple of layers to get that up, and then you can just glue it down. And we're just kind of making a rail on each side so it stays in place as we pull it. And I have used layered cardstock, and it works just as well. So that's how it's looking. Okay, so we have our back on with our foam tape or our stackable cardstock with glue. Now, before I put this on, I just want to make sure we get our mechanism on correctly. So we need a piece of our acetate here or cardstock. It doesn't have to be acetate. And we are going to take a piece of double-sided tape. And we're going to put a piece at the bottom. And we can take that off. And we're going to put our acetate right on the bottom of it, like to cover our tape. Like so. Now what we have to figure out is where we need to place our basket of apples. And how far we need to go down. On this card, I was able to put it just above the edge there. So we're going to see if that works this time. But our little guy here, he's going to go on here. And how we have our mechanism right now, that's how it'll be when it's closed. And he's going to have an apple on his head like so. But what we want to do is if we place this guy right here, we want to be able to hide him so he can't be seen, which he really can't with this like so. But we also need to make sure when he's fully out, so we're just pretending here. But if I have mine here, like so, and we would definitely be able to see our, get this set up a little bit better. Hello friend. Uh-oh. Our hello friend. Okay. So I want you to see, we don't see him. We just think it's an apple up here. And then you pull it and it says, hello friend. Isn't that cute? And then we have a little tail over there that we're going to put on him too. So to me, this is, and it's really not that difficult, but out of the 3 cards that we made and we have files for, this one to me is the most difficult because you got to make sure you're placing your card so it's not seen, or your fox so it's not seen. And you want to be able to see the sign too. And you always can practice by putting tape on it that's not so sticky, that will make it be permanent. So before we put this guy down, our basket of apples, we have to get him on there. Or actually, you could put your basket on and then you'd have it in place, but you wouldn't be able to move it around. So I feel like if I get him on how I want him, that it will be easier. I think I'm liking him about right there. You can see I got a little plastic above. So what I'm going to do is just put a little piece of tape down. And then I'm just going to stick him right to it. Like so. And He's moving just fine. I'm going to put this back to see we're doing okay. That looks good to me. So I have him, with mine I can use these hearts. I'm placing it, not this first row, but this second full row of hearts is where the bottom of my bucket of apples is hitting. So if I pull him up and then line my guy back up, yeah, that's not going to be, you won't be able to see my hello friend. So that's not going to work. We need to make him go a little bit higher. So I think I'm pretty good with where he's at. So I'm just going to slide my little sign back up. And I'm just going to put a little glue on the corners here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of glue and put it on his head right here. And then add my apple. We got him in place. Now we can take our foam tape or our cardstock. You can use cardstock for this too. And we're just going to put a few pieces around here. Now, keep in mind, we don't want anything around that's going to obstruct us from our little fox popping up. Which we don't want. Don't put anything on the leaves. My bad. No, nothing on the leaves because it would stop it. So on our sides over here. Okay, so that's what it's looking like on the back of the apples. And I'm going to pull this out because I just want to make sure I'm not going to hide our sign there. And there we go. So for this piece, we just need to take our pieces off the back and then we'll line it up with our bottom down here. Oh, I forgot to take these off. And if it was flipping and flopping, it'll be much better once we cover this up, so it'll help keep it in place. Like so. And there we go. I should have scooted my sign over, but it's okay. I might go back and fix it. I might not. And hello, friend. Isn't that cute? And then also we have envelopes in the file, of course, and we have the graduation one. And you pull it and it has the balloons. And then we also have this nice little simple one. And then we have a happy anniversary one, and you pull it up, and it's their 3rd year. So I did a candle with the 3 on top, and then it's very simple on the inside, a place to write a message. Yeah, so we have 3 different options this week. I think they're super cute and pretty easy to do, you guys. Do you guys know why foxes like to hunt rabbits? because they were in the mood for fast food. Guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me. Don't forget to stop by next week to see what's popping and dropping. Bye.